But we can't almost finish a Linux Weekly Daily Wednesdays without poking Windows or poking Apple, and guess who's on the block this week?
Yeah, it's Windows 10. So someone has started a petition to have the EFF investigate what Microsoft is doing with Windows 10.
Ignorantly unethical at best.
Yeah, all the shady stuff Microsoft has been doing with their update system or forced.
Well, did you hear about it last week? Like right after our show, I think it was. There was that game park in the Africas that they had a satellite link.
Oh yeah,
and it did like a 6 gigabyte download and completely wrecked their
because
data
they had metered bandwidth paid by megabyte.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
you were saying straight.
Yeah, I mean they've been forcing this Windows thing more and more over the past few months, and they've been more aggressive. Like they've been using like malware.
They're getting sneaky with it. They're like, oh, if you just close it, it'll install.
Yeah, and they are still spying on users. I mean, somewhere like there's a Microsoft data analyst that sees a guy in California putting on Windows, playing Doom for an hour, and then shutting down Windows. Mm-hmm. Somewhere, I guess, they see that in their servers. Yeah, but I see people like complaining a lot. I see people like they're very angry at Microsoft for doing what they do. But I don't see a lot of people migrating from Windows to Linux. So does that mean that we don't have a good enough operating system?
No.
Yes, let's argue about which one is better. No, it's not so much whether or not Linux is good enough, because we've all dealt with Linux long enough to know that yes, it is, but it's not. It doesn't cater. It doesn't automate. It doesn't hold people's hands. Linux
doesn't appeal to mindless potatoes.
Precisely. Okay. That's what Mac OS X is for.
Mac caters to it with style, though. I mean, it's got the right underpinnings. Microsoft is just built on top jank, decade after jank and jank. I mean, there are programs that rely on bugs in the kernel. I mean,
they literally do.
That's a genuine thing. I mean, when, what you were saying and what Strider was saying, Linux is dead simple to come over to, and it does not take... I started using, the Slackwares and the 95s before the Googles. Yes, please tell me again how difficult Linux is to use in 2016. Really?
Yeah.
It's been my primary desktop ever since. But to answer your question, Strider, I personally believe I don't want those people migrating, because you know what? You made your choice, heathens. Lie in your mighty bed of pain.
They made they say... A lot of people say, hey, I don't have a choice. I'm forced to use Windows. Well, no, you do have a choice. You might have to give up some habits. You have to relearn some stuff, maybe. You might have to change your hardware or even find another job. But you do have a choice. Because I believe Microsoft is within their rights to do any kind of shady stuff they want to do.
They are, and you're agreeing to it. Mm-hmm. If you've ever taken time, I know no one does, but I actually have. I'm one of those idiots, to read the Microsoft end user license agreement. The first time I read it, I'm like, oh, wow. Okay. They literally have permission to listen to everything you say if you happen to have a microphone plugged into the OS. You're granting them rights to literally take and remove or add anything to your hard drive while you're running the operating system. Anything you do with the operating system. Better yet, if you have Secure Boot enabled, they know exactly how many times a day you turn on your PC, how many times you reboot your PC. It's insane. They know everything you do with your PC, and there's a big focus on the
So you're basically saying that it's the Steam client on Linux?
Although the Steam client doesn't have as many permissions as Windows does.
I mean, if we're just being fair, Ben.
Yeah.